After watching Train go the way of BiG, some would have said this series was over. But surprisingly enough, North Academy with an upset on Cash and in convincing fashion, dispatching of the Germans on BiG and getting us onto Overpass. Chad, even a Canadian has a cracking point. I've joined you in my jacket, and now I'm ready for things to really heat up on this third map. I really don't know what to expect because what a contrast between Train and Cash when it came to not only the confidence in play, but the performance from some of those guys on North.
Two different looking teams, I would definitely say, and I think, you know, BiG were a shadow of themselves as well, and they didn't look happy after that win going outside. They had that mental reset. I walked past them in the halls there, but they need to turn this one around, right? You see all smiles here on the side of the North Academy, but if we flick on over and we check out the boys from BiG, it's definitely going to be a stark contrast. They're not going to be smiling at all. I think, you know, them to lose a map, sure, I don't want to paint the picture like this, but this is the way it is at this top tier of Counter-Strike. They're going to be embarrassed with that loss, right? They're going to want to bounce back. They're going to need their players, definitely Nex and Legio, who had a very quiet second map, to get involved, to step up, because Overpass isn't something which has really been at the top of their wheelhouse. I think back to Mykonos. I think back to all these type of events where they had a mixed bag of results. It can be a map where they beat Heroic 16-1 on Overpass in Pro League Season 6 online. But then, you know, we look to some of their more recent results. They lost to that mixed team of Ukraine at the WSG qualifier not long ago. So who knows what to expect. All I know is I've seen some up and down Counter-Strike from different faces, and there's one of them. Legio with a fantastic first map. Bit of a lackluster second. Mertz in the same. He had struggled on the first, had a great second. So Knife Round is going down right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's see who's going to be starting on what sides. He's going to have the choice of terrorist or counter-terrorist. Looks like we are going to see BiG starting on the CT side and North Academy on the T side. I don't know. I don't even know if that really matters at this point in time.
I mean, if there's one thing that I think was really noteworthy between Train and Cash is just how much more of a proactive defense North were playing.
Yeah.
And I think that Overpass is another map that can lend itself into that, right? You can start going for those long playground flanks. You can try and use connector control. You can definitely try and circumvent a loss of map control by an ambition elsewhere, right? On Train, it almost seemed like North Academy were constantly tied up and scared. We very rarely, or maybe too late, saw them starting to go for those types of counter pushes and forward advancements. Whereas on Cash, it was straight from the get-go on that CT side. They were going for the squeaky pushes, the counter boosts in like the opening 3 or 4 rounds. And that's, of course, despite only having won a single pistol in this entire event so far. So if North Academy can improve on that front, if they can translate the success from Cash as well here into Overpass, then we could have a serious map on our hands. But that's exactly what we've got, ladies and gentlemen. The third map between North Academy and BiG. It is Overpass, and again, it is elimination on the line. An upset of the weekend certainly set to unfold here if the Danes can stave this off.
And I was also wrong where BiG have opted to start on the T side right now, giving the CT side to North Academy, who are playing in relatively forward positions here towards the toilet. As BiG are just posturing, waiting for any over-aggression, and that utility will swing out soon to displace the CTs and give themselves a more even keel in the duel. Tabson with bomb in hand. He looks like he's the man on point. His gold B and Kiev, his little 3-pack behind him. Acor about to get... Oh, jeez, I didn't know if that was going to happen. As 1, 2, 3 headshots rain in for Acor. Gated with a 4th, and things have completely melted apart for BiG here.
Yeah, a matter of seconds, Acor just starts tapping off, right? You see that first missed shot and you think, this is a missed opportunity. But he certainly then seals it. Of course, help from his teammate. Skewers the 4th, and, well, Mertz will clean up that last one. So here's North Academy winning this, again, second pistol of the event. A strong start considering all things.
Step in the right direction. I thought I lost my breath there. I thought, what? How? Huh? And we do talk about, well, definitely I experienced, and I know a lot of the other players out there have a very similar sentiment. When you're aiming at people with that USP or those pistols, they're bullets. They just don't seem to connect if they're not facing you. You know, it's a weird place to be. But forced by coming out, the guys on BiG. Couple CZs, Deagle, a little bit of utility. So there's obviously a game plan, something that Godby has scripted here for them to play out.
Starts off with a little bit of a delayed push towards that fountain. Could have made first contact, as we did watch North Academy get that forward stance, but then quite immediately fell off. Maybe worried of that really quick connector split, but in this case, it's the bathroom's push from Tabson that nets them the opening frag. That's Gade down, and then Tabson doubling in on this. 5 versus 3, so close to that A bomb site. And North Academy, they're sent scrambling upwards. They're trying to find footing on this site, but there's really nothing for them. In fact, it's a bomb plant to go the other way. BiG making something of this already. The retake attempt just on the cusp, but they line up for Tabson, and while he finds a third frag, it's damage on the fourth. A 2 versus 3 with a health advantage back for North, but they have to be worried of Legia. The man on a full bar, the insurance policy at this point. 2 players to peek. Acor could easily clean these guys up. Cyclone is still sticking the bomb, and he's got a kit, so he's got the round. North Academy getting it through with the skin of their teeth.
Jeez, the frustration level there, especially if you're a player like Tabson who cracked that one wide open and then the rest of the teammates unable to close. Smoke in play, low HP, recipe for disaster or success depending on who you're a fan of in this scenario. But look, that was a nice little play, a nice little execute onto that A site. Made it look easy as that, but that E key really being the victor there for North Academy. And another force buy going to come out from BiG. They want to be competitive in this one. They want to take the fight early. They want to get in control of that economy. We do see 3 saved weaponry from that last round coming across in the form of 2 Famises and an M4, and then Keith and Nex, a Deagle and a CZ respectively. So this is going to be a tight round. We're pretty close fire-wise, firepower-wise. You look how reserved the guys from North are early, right? They have a lot of utility, but they're happy to play back in the site. North are just going to posture, take control of toilets, going to take control of party. There, a decision will be made because they do have enough utility to lay down that A wall of smokes if they really want to. And as I say that, Tabson will throw his out, and that's 1 less for a decisive execute. There's plenty of moves that they can pull out of their bag between them, but Bomb left in limbo, so the decision hasn't been made yet. They're still in that position of choice. Gade getting up close.
Dangerously close. While he's got Mertz to cover his shoulder, Mertz also occupied with keeping his eyes on Long.
Gade just got a lot of information off of that flash. He's pushed into the toilets, which means no need to rotate another player over to A right now, and still posturing, still ready to strike. And this should force the rotation over towards B. Gade has so much information. He's a miracle worker right now.
Man, he could even start skewering the players coming in from connector. Sure enough, they have 1 player on long, but here comes Gade, stopping them on short with at least 1 frag. The fire blocks off the next, but it is time the issue here. 15 seconds as really the T's now start charging forward. They dispatch of the defense, and yet there are still players nearby. That rotation's working out. It is Mertz taking the kill, and it's Keith the clutch, but it's just not meant to be. It's BiG faltering again.
They say information is power, and that's exactly what BiG had in that round. Not BiG, North Academy. That was going to be a nice line. I fudged it. I ruined it. We were going down a nice path there. I had something set up. We were going to really build a cool storyline about how information's really good. But we got a tactical pause coming out from BiG. They've been shaken in these last 3 rounds, and the choice of the matter is, do you go for another buy? Do you force into it once again? Because you're still in that position to break the economy of North. They only had 2 players surviving just then. They didn't mess up as badly as me with that line, so I'll have to review this VOD afterwards and really question my life choices.
It's all right. You're a stand-in at the end of the day, Chad.
Look, I really wanted to do a good job. You know, I'm replacing Lauren. She's got her play-by-play down pat. But we are going to see that force buy coming out from BiG again. They don't want to give this one up, and I can appreciate that because as soon as they do get one on the board in this fashion, it will tip the economy in their favor.
They've had so many opportunities, BiG, despite coming off with a back foot with buys. It was really that flank from Gade, despite only getting that 1 kill, right? It's for that reason that North Academy have already rotated so quickly downwards. So when Keeve shows up late to the party, had they not already been in position, maybe he finds a plant. Maybe he finds a chance to cross back. Instead, it's all taken away.
If they keep losing these rounds in such close, heartbreaking fashion, it's going to keep them buying, right? That's kind of the drug that you feed yourself with. The idea of, oh, we were so close, so we could do that. Whereas I think, you know, they would look a lot stronger, a lot better against the North Academy with full utility, with all those weapons that they want, the AWP in Keeve's hands. But still, I think it's early enough that this is justified. This is definitely a good decision. They do have Tabson peering over the smoke. Here he's going to find the head of Mertz, and this could be the entry they need. The collapse on the A-bomb side is coming in now as the bomb. And the rest of the big team are pushing up mid.
Ooh, but off of a teammate's flashbang, Gade makes the most of that, finds God B. They will continue to try and push their way in. Gade completely blind. Cyclone with a response already, sprays for another head. That's Kiev removed, and a 3v2 still to play off here. Legia providing cover to Tabson, who gets himself the plant. Fire buys some time, and that's going to allow for Tabson to pry all around here. In fact, retrieved utilities. Going to be put to work. Legia gets that much closer towards the bank. Tabson still stands on Optimus Prime, and they're going to get ambitious. They're going to get aggressive, and they're going to be successful in doing so. Down to the 1v1. Borup tries to duel, swaps his guns, and it costs him. Legia with a headshot, and a round on the board for BiG.
Tabson almost with the misplay there. He had that re-pick. It wasn't essential, putting a lot of pressure on Legia. But able to close it out in the end. Now that's the round. That's the straw that breaks the camel's back of economy that is this North Academy. But they want to get stuck in too. They're not going to give this up without a fight. They've gone for the force by their own, and we've seen how successful they can be with these deagles as Mertz tees up, takes a shot, nades land, 55 damage going to be copped there, and didn't want to get out of there. Wanted to take the duel, and Tabson will happily add that one to his frag count.
Still close is A-Core. Oh, he almost finds Kiev off guard. Now, unfortunately, he's pinned in, but God B, he can't connect the shot. Tabson certainly can. A-Core able to at least find one frag with him. Look at the damage dealt here. Tabson to 22, God B on 14. Gade with a missed opportunity. That would have been huge. That would have been next. That would have left them into just the one man on full bar and then the two tag players early, but it's only Borup left over.
North really needed to avoid the meltdown here, right? To at least have kept it competitive. That three-man rule that I keep talking about, get those 3 kills. Barbara's still in a position where he can do that because it is an AXU coming in. They have slowed it down a little bit. They've got their foot on the brake. They're just creeping in. Gotta be at the front of the attack with bomb in hand, but low HP. There's one. Gets one more. He's gonna make things spicy.
Oh, and that's the man on the full HP. Borup now could do this if Tabson didn't isolate those fights. They overwhelmed him, and he was pinned behind lackluster cover. He would have loved to throw at that Molotov, but with the fabrication time on the CZ.
Look, he's lived up to the standard that I've definitely posted up for him, getting those kills, pushing BiG, the 2 members surviving, going into this next round. The question is, here we go, they've opted for that flash. This is what we're talking about, right? This is what you want to see. You grab a flash, sure, it's not a huge investment. It's actually a very small investment, but it can pull off, you know, it can reap huge dividends. It's not going to matter at all in this scenario as BiG. They've opted to go straight towards that B bomb site with a little bit of pace. Wrong place. Yeah. Wrong place, right idea, I guess. They're going to be locked out of this one.
It's not even one of those situations where you can just say screw it and save your armor CZs or something like that, right?
Yeah, what you can do, I suppose, is just not let those MAC-10s farm. So you don't even need to chase the kills. The only reason I would be saying to do so is to try and keep the economy of BiG honest. But you're only dealing with USPs, right? You're really scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of firepower here. Those are the freebies you get at the start of the round. So set up one of those AVE-esque stacks somewhere. Wait and see if someone comes into your trap. Get a kill. Be happy with that.
They try to do that down here towards Connector, and sure enough, they find Legia. One of the MAC-10s, in fact, so if they die now to rifles, it's the better of a bad situation. 2-player walks away nearly unscathed. Bomb damages Mertz. 4 men up for BiG. This is the kind of round that really starts to cultivate cash in their pockets. And lets them get their feet back beneath them.
What do we got looking economy-wise? We will see the buy coming in for the guys from North Academy, but the AWP is not going to be there. The Molotovs are definitely missing, so any way to shut down an aggressive play from BiG early is not there in the arsenal of North Academy. They're going to have to play that heads-up CS, which started to work for them a little bit more so. Kesh, when they were being aggressive, when they were being assertive, when they were being proactive. We're not seeing any of that here just yet. 4 players towards A. It is a mix-up. They put a lot of pressure on Borup over towards B, anchoring on his own.
Seen Mertz here with the Deagle. Oh! Tries it with an M4. Tabson spots him again. It's the duel between the top carries.
That's awkward, isn't it? I think Mertz like overstayed his welcome, but when that smoke dissipated, he should have been well and truly out of there, and the walk onto B is going to happen, and this man right here, the youngster, is going to have to deliver, but deliver he won't as his back is turned, and he'll drop the B-bomb side open for business. BiG are hungry, and the frags just keep falling in their direction. Here's the thing, right? You look at what North Academy just did. It was fantastic, the gamble. We're going to have 2 towards long, we're going to play 1 player towards connector and 1 towards party. I think that was great because it didn't have a lot of utility. Now, we talked about Rise Nation just playing a very default standard in the bomb site hold on Inferno when they had a similar kind of money situation. That's not what you want. You want these risks to try and level up the playing field. If BiG came to them, they could have collapsed as a unit, traded out efficiently, potentially the round going in their favor. That's all good. In this scenario, what happened was Mertz getting left in the lurch or leaving himself in the lurch. He overstayed his welcome there for sure. Gave up a trade and then everything fell apart from that point. Even if they went to B, could have given themselves a 5v5 retake scenario. We do see so many B retakes happen on this map, especially when you look to the likes of SKs. Those guys are insane when it comes to retaking on Overpass B site. But anything's possible is the point I'm trying to make here. Good call from Ave. Bad execution. A little bit of bad decision making by Mertz.
And of course, frags aplenty from BiG. Legia is actually already stepping up. Still early days, but however, worth noting as we watched him taper off from map 1 to map 2. And now we've got BiG back in the lead. Here with another bye versus just the Deagles for the most part.
See him coming out again and again, and here he is. He loves this duel. He's been told, the way that this picture has been painted is that Mertz is a god with the AWP, right? That's the way that he carries this team. Let's get the AWP in his hands then. Let's aim for that. And that, I think, is the plan by now, not heavily investing just with a couple of pistol upgrades and the 2 save rifles. They give them a chance to finally get their man, their star. The gear going for him. Was I talking to you yesterday? I don't know. Maybe it was on the desk. Or maybe it was somewhere else. But I always thought, you know, when you dribble, I would always say dribble. I know dribbling's from your mouth, right? But it's meant to be drivel, not from your mouth when you're talking about... Anyway, I should have had a bit more context. It just came to mind.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, drivel. D-R-I-V-V-L-E. The definition. No, not double V. Just a single V. Nonsense. Don't talk such drivel, which is what I'm doing right now, as opposed to dribble.
How do you feel about these 2 M4s stacking up on one site?
Risks have to be taken, especially when you're not dealing with a lot. But once again, the assertiveness is coming out from Mertz and Mertz alone. He seems to have dropped consistently as one of the first men for North. Maybe they could mix it up and try and get someone else in the action because he's basically a free frag at this point. What's he looking at? I don't think he's had too much impact across the board, really. He's only got 4 frags.
What I'm worried as well is that, you know, that forward advancement with an AWP is a pretty common occurrence for a map like Overpass, right? You throw him onto party, he tries to get that early pick, tries to control the men towards party, but at this point, BiG have already been conditioned to look out for that, and we haven't seen him on his AWP. He's been doing it with Deagles consistently. So when they finally do get an AWP in the hands of Mertz, which I think is a key piece to their success, if they're going to find wins to the board, it worries me that BiG might already be that step ahead.
Yeah, and we've seen this go down, right? If you just wind back to round number 5, Tabson opening up with a kill onto Mertz at that exact part of the map. You just go forward to the round just before. Tabson once again killing Mertz. And this round, again, Tabson killing Mertz. These have been the opening frags over 3 rounds. Now, sure, Deagles, pistols, whatever. But it's a trend that you definitely want to buck. It's not one you want going into things. And you might be onto something in the sense of they should be expecting it to be coming their way. Now I think we should be getting to the point in which the AWP hopefully comes out for Mertz. I don't know if he has enough money, but Cyclone or Acor can definitely drop him one.
I think at this point it has to come out, right? He was an instrumental key to the success on Cash. Top fragging above and beyond. We all know that is most comfortable with the cannon itself, and now he does have one, right? So he's coming into this round, and where's he gonna go with it? Yet again over towards bathrooms. Not so much of a forward stance, rather. He's going to reposition towards long. And it's this round where BiG actually play a little more passively back from playground. Maybe, again, trying to get ahead of that, right? They're boosting over the wall. They're trying to spot any early aggressions while Legia clears up short.
Looks like it's going to be a relatively swift B hit here with Legia already. Like you said, very aggressive towards the sandbags. Has a lot of information. And it looks like they're ready to pounce. As that Molotov is the cue for BiG to attack, but ooh, the player at barrels, Burrow up has scared them away. Next doesn't want to take that duel. Their tail between their legs. BiG will back off, ready to fight another day.
And just as the players round long A, Kiev most notably with the AWP, is when Mertz falls off of that angle, leaving Gate up in the close corner. Oh my goodness. Legia catches Acor mid-flight.
They're going to play for information here. Flash comes in. This is perfect, but Kiev completely blind takes down Gade. That's a huge frag right there. Fantastic information play from North, but it's not to be. And now they're in a 3-on-5 situation. All the decisions in the world for BiG at this point.
Missed flashbang, but Borup at least getting a kill. Mertz just caught in open ground there. Tabson finds him with his back turn. 2 versus 4, and BiG on the cusp of the site already. If Cyclone can mow them down, that's one thing, but he too denied by Tabson. And Borup, he's been convinced to fall off. There was a moment there where Mertz could have actually found some positioning behind the boxes. Re-engaged with, of course, his teammate by his side, but instead Tabson hits the timing on the head.
Do you think he's overthinking it? He's dropping the ball definitely there, right? He just needs to focus on his crosshair a little bit more, like Borup's just done there, and put Tabson to sleep. That's the thing, you know, you can worry about, there's probably a lot going on. Nades getting thrown across the board, a frag happened on the other bomb site. He just needs to maybe just tunnel vision in, because he, exactly like you said, was in a position to get some frags, have some impact.
Especially with that split coming in from multiple directions, right? Like you can dictate the push using that dice box. It's one of those pieces where you actually have solid cover on both sides. And so if you can keep the offense guessing as to where you're at, it's in that moment that Cyclone can swing wide off of Optimus Prime and really find it. But I mean, like, look how easy that is. He is standing on full display, turned away on top of it, right?
Should never happen, right? That's some indecision right there. He's going to be kicking himself for that one. This is like, you have these games as individuals, right? And I'm sure like you can even, people can attest to this when they even play pugs or things like that. Even matchmaking is, you just have games where you feel your timing is really off. Now within a team, if you're on the CT side and you're the star player, normally a lot of decisions are left up to you and how you want to approach scenarios. You're not really forced into a cookie cutter way of playing. Now here, it was his decision to turn his back, right? In a scenario where obviously, in hindsight, it's 2020, he should have been ready to frag. And these are the things, maybe he's just having one of these off games where every step he's taking, he's just finding himself in the wrong place. He needs to turn it around right now, and he's got the AWP going aggressive in connector.
Was going to be next down there, but he's immediately convinced to fall back. All right, all right. Little 3-man boost.
Thing is, you have to, if you're doing this on a gun round, you need to have a sick protocol to get out of there. Because you get pinned in, they go through monster, they take down that player and they realize you're on that boost, you're getting Molotov to death at that point. You need to make sure that you have some set flashes, some set smokes, some way to get yourself out of that corner, because it is a death trap.
At least they do have Borup over towards the barrels, right? That'll be able to draw attention away. Help out with any kind of a frantic push inwards from BiG, but that also then leaves Mertz alone. You've got 4 players at the B site.
That little move right there from BiG is fantastic in the sense of they can clear the whole right side of Monster, and when they want to execute, now they only need to focus towards the site, right? They only need to actually be looking towards the barrels, towards the pillar. It's actually, that is a huge little move. That's fantastic from BiG to be able to throw that one in there.
Now, if they don't take short control at any point on this execution, that's going to be a very single-pronged assault. And sure enough, 4 players come pushing in. You've got nades being supported from the backside. Borup still stands, despite being flashed for like 5 seconds straight. He's trying to line these players up, but it's Legia with the opening 2 kills. And a lot of space being made until Cyclone takes it back with 2 kills of his own. Again, flashbang's the problem here, and it is just down to God. B, North Academy hold, 4-6. They get another round here. And it
fired up there, you see him?
Yeah.
Beating his chest, having a good time, getting stuck in. This is what we want. Now we're getting hot. Bang on with the utility usage there. I don't know if it was team flashes or what, but Borup was doing a fantastic job, even while blind, of delaying. You can see him getting 2 assists there as part of that 3-piece feed from Cyclone. Make that 4. This is what we want to see, some back and forth Counter-Strike as North were able to get a proper gun round on the board.
Of course, then again, that's BiG not taking any short control throughout the round and just trying to hammer it right through monsters. So I'm sure one of those rounds where they can consider it an anomaly, try to dodge that and just go back into their defaults, but it's in fact Gade to find the opening kill yet again for the side of North Academy. 5v4, he tries to fall back, he's got the cover of the AWP, and they do find safety, but are they fast enough to get ahead of God B? So close to the bathrooms push, he could come just flying into this bomb site if necessary. Again, flashbangs, utility, it's everywhere, all across the bomb site. And now got B with a headshot. CT still close to the smoke on long. And there he goes. Legia and Tabson combining for more frags, splitting the entire map and leaving it down to both Cyclone and Bora. The defense as split as the offense in that situation. Yet it culminates with a bomb plant and a retake to follow suit.
Just an absolute barrage over the entire map right now as the fights are happening left, right, and center. And this retake, there's a bit of utility right there on Burrup to be able to isolate some of the T's. Well, they've got nothing to work with, but they do have Tabson. They have the absolute star, the monster himself, and have a tall task ahead of them.
Tabson prepared to go for the peak. They make contact and they clear it up. Nice after plant hold there from BiG.
Exactly right, and you see what they didn't allow to happen? They didn't let North push into the site and use that leftover utility. Didn't let them throw that smoke on the bomb. Didn't make it difficult for themselves. Peeked out in limbo. That was fantastic communication and teamwork there to not allow that to get to a weird after plant scenario, because as soon as those nades go in from the CTs, you gotta hope and pray with that spam through the smoke.
So they find that one moment where they would have still been able to dictate the gunfight, and they take it. 3-point lead for them.
Surprisingly, BiG have taken the pause here. I'm not sure what they're looking at with the tactic-wise. It was a close round. I suppose maybe that was it, and chaotic is definitely the case. Legia is having success over towards that B bomb site time and time again. Godby finding space and innovating on the fly with that Molotov to cut off that long fallback. Some nice bits and pieces falling in the favor of BiG right now, and they have taken control of that economy again. They've definitely put North Academy in a rough spot.
Yeah, I feel like you call a pause after the reset just to really kind of re-cement your ideas. Make sure that there is no footing being gained back by the Danes. Trying to punish any kind of early short push was Legia, who's coming back into his own.
Yeah, he's definitely having a lot more impact in this game than he did in the last. Him and Tabson right now leading the way. It's unfortunate that we haven't seen a lot from Next thus far. He is a guy who, said it on the desk, I'll say it again, he was the one true hope, the star who I think German Counter-Strike needed 2 years ago. It wasn't to be, dropped from the Mouse Sports roster. Found himself a home here again with BiG. But we need more from him here on LAN.
Legia's going to be point man. Off of the flash, he clears up that right side. Now, so long as they keep eyes on it, they'll know that it's nice and clear for whenever they decide to commit. Legia's got to be careful. He's got Godby with a bomb just behind him. And BiG have no footing any elsewhere on the map. They could just trade frag straight into the bomb site, but I mean, there's still 4 players here. Minimal threat, really, as they are unarmed and unarmored. But they're still present. They're still capable of dishing out some damage, but there's the first, there's the second. Gonna start to fall them back. Mertz burns, and it is just Acor, cowering in the dirt, where his corpse now lies. BiG with an 8th round of the board, doubling up the score of North Academy. Definitely just going through the motions versus the pistols of that round.
They've got control of this first half comfortably. Now this right here, this is the round where they can really just run away with it. They take this one. That's all she's going to write for North Academy, and I think they're going to really struggle to put too many more rounds on the board, because that force by back and forth in the beginning, it really just delayed the reset of that CT economy until the later stages, and we're really seeing how much that hampers the team right now as Keith getting super aggressive through that smoke. Looking for the boost up. I don't see anything. It looks like they want to go for a relatively quick play up sandbags here. Ankle is going to pick up Layden. He's not going to see anything.
Oh, this could be disastrous.
Come on, Keith, you can do it.
They're assuming that it's clear.
Has he seen the head? Oh, he's seen the head. He's on the barrel of the gun.
Yeah. Give it the old underhand.
What's he do? What?
Maybe he
Legia what?
Goes for the toxic nade instead. That's obviously going to reveal presence from short. They are still totem poled. Keeve comes walking in. Borup finds the kill, and now these 2 terrorists on short, they're single-handedly trying to hit this B bomb site.
I'm confused. I saw it on Legia's screen, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely out of this brigade. He's going to step out. He's going to grab God B. 5-on-3 situation now for North Academy. Trying to get away. He's going to hit the bin, and Kiwi's chasing, but not quick enough. Tabson has cracked open the A site, though, so this man can make anything happen, even on 34 HP.
Problem being, of course, that bomb's going to get sectioned off by a man like Gade. Sitting on 2 frags, looking for a 3rd. North Academy still looking down towards that B site, unsure as to where exactly BiG do stand. Gade plays this intelligently. They go creeping by, assuming now that, yeah, short's clear. when in reality that's not the case. Making contact on Banks, gonna pull that 4-man back. Speaking of backs, it's right there for the taking. Legia down for the count, no bomb plant, and another round for the Danish side as they will find 5.
I think tabseN would probably be scratching his head as much as myself there. Cyclone really didn't have any reason to be finding a jewel or even looking for one. He probably should have been playing in the way that that round was unfolding, more passively back in bank. And the fact that he took that jewel like that, I think if I was the likes of BiG, they would have been going for some kind of play deeper. They wouldn't have just planted once they got that site control. So weird decision from Cyclone, but obviously it works, and you can't really critique things that work too harshly, I suppose. But we get another gun round. And we're able to put one more on the board to keep this one competitive. Very slow starts to these rounds.
I think going back to what BiG really started off this series with, which was meticulous time crunching on the offense. Making the most of everything, clearing out every single portion of the map with little tidbits of utility. Which, hell, makes sense, right? Minimize the risk.
Yeah, Counter-Strike, a game of decisions and risk mitigation. But eventually you need to take some, you need to make some happen. And here's a risk right now as Mertz and Cade, they step out together from the bathrooms, but Kiev and Godbeat deliver, and that's the 3-on-5 now quickly in the favor of BiG as they come stampeding down long in a unit. This is where every time you're going to expect the CTs to come out with some mid-round aggression. They need to make a move, right? They need to try and get one back of their own, but it's not to be. North Academy are posting up. They have a boost over the fence, ready to take on any attack BiG might throw at them.
I mean, even a boost like that, right, tends to be good for maybe 1, max 2 frags. It's not going to stop the T's from getting on the bomb site. It's not going to stop them from planting on the other side of the dice box and then just playing an after plant towards bathrooms. Sure enough, Acor fires off, doesn't find anything for it other than a bullet between the eyes. And while Borup responds with the flank here, he's now pinched in the T's. It's still the 2 versus 4. And Borup getting that much closer. Will work his way through bathrooms, finds contact, finds death. Cyclone tries to trade, will take it. But he has so much work set out for him that it's overwhelming, and BiG find 9.
There's so many cool concepts of things that North Academy are trying, like swinging out there together as a duo, to really force that fight and trade out. It's a good idea, right? The concept is there. It just wasn't to be. BiG are ready for it. BiG are hitting the shots that they need to now. We're seeing more from everybody stepping up next there with nice 2 kills. Last round of the half, scrappy buy. UMP, the deagle once more on Mertz. Haven't seen much success with that for the poor guy. He's in the same spot that tabseN has made him regret time and time again this half.
Next, so incredibly close to this double man stacking connector. Very curious boost. Mert's gonna try to hold off the top of party, but tabseN takes his head. It's actually on top of the shelving where Cyclone resides. Cool angle, of course. Allows for you to keep your eyes on Picnic without actually standing on the staircase, right? So sometimes you catch players off guard. And tabseN's already revealed himself to be here. Jumps up, still finds the kill. Why not? Gade could maybe trade as he fires off with the sidearm, dealing additional damage on another player from BiG, now taken beneath 20 HP, but it's still no frags back from North Academy. And that's the biggest issue. You are outnumbered, you are outgunned, and you are probably staring double digits in the eyes at this point. BiG looking to just stampede their way into the B bomb site, taking it by storm in most likely convincing fashion, unless Acor can pop some heads on the scout. But even that goes astray. This is gonna be a desperate retake attempt. Try as they might.
Yeah, it's not really looking good, is it? The clock slowly ticks away from them here, no matter how much they do. I feel this round has... ooh, okay. It's making it interesting, making it a bit spicy, but Kiev is going to finish him off. Acor with the scout, nothing's going to happen. Just, come on, buddy, get out there. There we go. He's going to drop 10-5 half to BiG. Going to be happy with that. But this has been the tabseN show. I think it's been a quiet little achiever from tabseN, which is funny to say. The guy's got 21-ish kills. 11 more than anyone else on his team, or something thereabouts, as my scoreboard updates a little bit slowly. But he's had impact in probably, I would say, every round, or almost every round. The guys from BiG have been able to put on the board. Now, to get pistol round, which is something North Academy have struggled with, If they can get that one, they can chalk that one up. They can find themselves getting closer to making this third and final map of the series competitive.
Of course, looking at the pistol round stats on screen, it's not something North Academy have been able to do all too often. Obviously winning this most recent pistol and then converting for the full 3 points, but what's scary, of course, is that's 3 of the 5 rounds that they win in the half. So only 2 actual gun rounds go their way. In the meantime, it was just tabs and dispatching of them over and over. And while props has to be given to some of the players on North Academy for finding kills in this map, Cyclone and Borup really kind of being that next level above and beyond, I can't help but ask, where has Mertz gone?
Yeah, he's gone quiet again, but we saw him get punished, early, going for that aggression. Didn't get the AWP up until quite late, and then the economy struggles once again. It was pulled away from him, but Keev's going to get a bit of info. He's not going to see much, but maybe he's heard something, because Tabson, the man that we're talking about, the star of this team, 20 frags every map thus far. He's going to get run down by Cyclone, and Keevy's better get out of there. He better not hang around for this duel, because he could have 4 angry terrorists with Glocks in hands in his face at any moment.
He actually does opt to linger. At least a moment longer.
He's really overstayed his welcome here. Unless he wants to play around and be a bit sneaky beaky, like from similar scenes to what we saw from Gade, he's not going to get anything done.
Continues to duel. Still empty-handed for the time being. He's got teammates now to support, and it's at this moment that he starts to find impact, but a single shot left in the mag. He would love for a reload, and he will get one in. Next comes to carry him out. Acor looks to head towards that B site. They're going to have the bomb in tow. They've got Cyclone with utility coming in of Monster, but they've got Legia on site to try and deal with. Again, a man that has stepped up, then drops the bomb in water. That single-handed kill right there could just spell disaster for the T's. They'll have to go on an expedition to retrieve it. And in the meantime, Legia will continue to dwindle them down.
Peppering shots out left, right, and center, isn't he? A lot of impact there from Legia as the rotation came in. The decision, now I was critiquing Kiev for overstaying his welcome. Little to know, I was not looking at my mini-map as he was backed up by 2 of his teammates, and that made him actually make the right play and find that kill, which forced out that B rotation and allowed Legia to sit there, pop off 3 quick headshots, drop the bomb into a very advantageous position, and thus take the pistol round for BiG. Once more, North Academy not having any success on the opener.
But they love themselves some deagles.
Yeah, and Acor, he says, "Good night, Legia. Sure, you got 3 on the pistol, but now you're dead." We didn't quite catch it, but I'm sure it would have been gnarly, as he only has shot 1 bullet. You can see on the bottom right of your screen there, and now you have to fill that gap. They have to work out how they're going to approach this one as the CTs get strung quite thinly. All right, these are 2 more Deagle 1Bs that we've missed across the map, and it's a meltdown.
All I hear is deagle shots, and all I see is corpses.
I'm just watching the top right, just looking for the... All right, well, I think God being next, no matter what they do in this round, they're feeling pretty locked out. They're feeling pretty hopeless. This was the step to them just closing the game, but North Academy have got something to say about that. So the individual prowess is definitely shining through. Timing is Acor's best friend as he looks away just at the wrong time. Flash comes out, tag up both Godby and Nex. Information given to his team, and Godby will quickly follow to the grave, I believe.
Most certainly should, and he does. Finding only 1 kill with him, so considering that they have the advantageous buy, they only get a single kill.
Yeah, look.
Dirty deagles.
What can you say about that one? Pistols and Counter-Strike. Well, we saw the back and forth, the forced buy scenario that happened in the first half. BiG have opted out of that. They know they're in the driver's seat. They're going to take this eco. They can concede this round with a single flash. Miracles do happen as they are stacking towards A. That means Tabson will be launching that one on command of his teammates. Hopefully they can pounce as a unit and pepper away with the silenced USP. Find themselves some frags. But with how reserved North Academy are right now, they might be ready for a play like this.
Again, we saw this kind of change-up from North Academy as well on Cash, whereby they didn't want to make the mistakes of just trying to pummel their way through this defense. Even despite it not being a forced buy, they haven't figured that out just yet. Maybe they change the pace once they do. There comes the flash, blinding 2. Damage goes each way, but it's the kills to go the way of North Academy. Sure enough, Cyclone on the Deagle could get this one done. It is Nex and Kiev still putting up a fight, despite on just the sidearm. But you know what? Now he's got an AK.
Anything's possible now. He's got this AK. The bomb is going to be retrieved, and B-Bomb side's going to be quickly overwhelmed. Ako's already over there, finding out what's looking up. But we do have a UMP. We do have the AK-47. Do they hold on to these? Do they take it into the next? Do they try and make this one as competitive as possible? That flashbang really reaped, it really paid itself off, right? You use one flash, you grab yourself 2 kills, you get a smoke, a Molotov, an AK, a UMP. I would say that's a win.
Yeah.
I would say that's definitely a win in the big camp.
It's, you know, some fruits for your labor. They'll reap their rewards. For now, North Academy as well. I mean, we see all the way they come into the round. They're not going to gamble even what's left over. Walk away from the round, dust yourself off, and be prepared to fight big on guns.
Here's what's potentially scary for Big, right? Tabson had to do a lot, right? He had 10 plus more frags than anyone else on his team in that first half. If he cools off even a little bit, and the likes of Kiev, you know, Nex, Godby, Legia, they're not there to chime in with him. This lead could quickly dwindle, and we might be seeing ourselves looking at another close matchup, just like we had on Cache. Well, it wasn't so close, was it? It was a bit of a decisive North victory in the end there, but more competitive is probably where I'm peddling this one.
Yeah, closer moments.
So AK's been dropped over to Tabson here, the man with a plan who hits the heads. Let's see what he can do with that. As a little bit of armor's been bought. They've got the pistols across the board. Godby staying on that USP, but another flash. There we go. Tabson steps up. He gets taken down. Burra ready and waiting for that one. So AK is quickly out of the hands of boy Tabson. The best player from Big is in the grave.
Nice shot by Borup too, man.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready for that, huh?
5 bullets deep, and he just wisps it over the top of the concrete. Firing off towards the Fountainous Gate, distracted, confused, and dazed, but still successful is North Academy, and the fact that they're able to trade. And then they get themselves that footing, at least for now. They could go closer towards the A site if only they knew. Godby has retreated back. Upgrades to the CZ. Legia comes sliding downwards, and he wins his duel versus Cyclone. So we're even keel 3v3. And remember, this was a buy favoring the T side. They still have a splendor of utility in this. Not that they've decided to throw it out.
Are they going to make the read, though? That's the thing. I noted on the first gun rounds that we've been seeing North Academy do these kind of explosion plays. And this isn't one of them. They are going in for the jewels, though. They're looking for the heads-up play. They want to find the big players, and they now know where Legia is. Jumping above the smoke. Ooh, pounce at any second.
He's got the cover of it. Godby makes the distraction. Legia, he makes the best of the opportunity. A-Core then down, and Nex seals the deal. That's Big straight back. Oh, those types of rounds are costly. For a team like North Academy, when you have an opportunity like that and it just slips through your fingertips.
Got to close those. You really have to close those rounds. They started off so well with that shot from Borup onto Tabson. It just seemed like everything was going in their favor, but Legia being a bit of a ninja around those smokes, able to get a lot of work done, and we're back on that force buy cycle, the back and forth. No one wants to give up on the economy here, so once more, the Deagle on Mertz's hands. Maybe he's going to get some frags eventually. Kiev with the AWP. I spot a couple of players going across the playground. Hightail it out of there with Tabson in tow. And Nex has information, a lot of information. Being in the sewer section of the map allows his team to rotate around, allows them to pivot. And also make sure it's not just going to be one of those all-in B executes.
Just got to be cautious, though. There is that presence towards connector, so at any moment that door could have swung wide open. If he hides just next to that plank, then he's good to go. He's got the cover. They have no idea until they jump outwards. But he is still ambiguous, just shuffling himself around as North Academy do the same over here towards A. We'll have to be cautious as eventually they'll make contact both versus Tabson and Kiev, and that AWP is deadly. Well, Tabson, his score speaks for itself.
Just quickly look at North's utility and where they've been able to garner, you know, the map control. It just seems to me like we're going to be seeing an execute coming in, right? Oh, this boost over the smoke is nice. Tabson just got a lot of information. He's probably going to get himself a kill there. The silence 10-4 rings true, and Cyclone goes down. The remaining players from North Academy have made their way over towards the B site. They're now in the sewer section of the map, and what remains of their utility is going to get thrown in.
Sub 30 seconds, Legia still boosted up in the corner, fully blind, and Acor walks right by. He falls down beneath him, finds himself the kill, but in the meantime, it's dropped down to the 3 versus 2. Gobby out of bullets, but he's got teammates behind him, and as he taps off the sidearm, Big will find it. They somehow hold that site. It's frantic, it's sloppy, but it works.
See that boost by Tabson? Sure, it's cool to see that boost come in. It's fantastic to go, hey, you know, this is a cool little play. But it's not only the frag itself, it's the information that he gets from that. He sees that kill come in, no one else is in that part of the map. They know at that point that they can rotate heavily towards that B bomb site in order to be backing up the rest of their teammates. I say it every single time, information is key in Counter-Strike, and that Molotov, great way to start the round, burning up 3 players from North Academy on those Glocks, making their way into Playground. Someone's going to be farming some eco kills this round.
Yeah, certainly should be. Then again, there is an open route straight towards that A site.
And if they beeline it, that's the only question. He's going to get back there in time. No utility to flash him off the line. They have opted to go through the toilets. They will basically avoid any long-range duels here. But unfortunately, they're not going to get close enough. They're not going to get a chance to take those fights.
This is one of those scary situations where, you know, you almost want to write off the Glocks, and yet they've gotten themselves so close to the bomb site that maybe they find some footing. But Gobby in the corner drops to the Glock of Acor. Keeve swaps to his sidearm, so it's nearly even keel, but he's got Kevlar. And now they have some guns. Again, the distance from the bathrooms to the bomb site's really not that far. If you can find anything, then you can walk away with an upset round. North Academy are starting to do this. Gade with 2 frags off of the op. A retrieved gun could spell disaster for Big, but Legia, he's gonna get on the bomb and he's got the kit. The T's nowhere nearby. It's gonna be a single shot from Gade if he even fires off, and he doesn't. Big balls get them through that one.
The face of Kakafura there, I completely, that's my sentiment as well, the little head shake. All right, what? How? That should never even been a possibility. That was 5 Glocks.
Yeah.
We're talking Glocks. We're talking the still level, the days level, they're yelling about the Glocks, right? That is not a thing that should be happening at all. I don't know why Gobby needed to play so timid. I'm sure that they've been humbled by the Deagles. But yeah, there's frustration across the board right now. The question marks are thick and fast, definitely so. They only need 2 rounds, but this has not been the best decision-making Big we've seen. They need to kind of get themselves out of any potential mental rut, close this one out, because they are in that driver's seat. They are only 2 rounds away. North Academy sitting on 7 rounds. They have finally got the guns up. The AWP in Mertz's hand. If they want to have any chance in this game, right now is where they need to step up and show that they've got not only a system, but they've got what it takes as individuals to close out the round, make the decisions, make the frags. There we go. So the default spread comes out. We got the trio, the pack, over towards Playground. Borup about to get in a duel with Tabson. He's going to win that one. He's been impressive thus far, finding quite a few openings. And from there, a lot of pressure is going to be applied on Nex. He is going to need Legia to hold his hand. Flash comes out. Squeaky door gets open, but Legia, UMP from range, going to trade off. And now we find ourselves in a 4-on-4 situation. Nothing really gained from North Academy. They didn't take any ground from Borup's opening kill. Keeve is still postured relatively aggressively in the toilets, but after that smoke lands, he is going to have to get out of there. He will find himself in a battle with Long, which is, he's going to have to do that no matter what.
Keeve comes out, though, with another. Again, one of those moments whereby Big finds some footing and North Academy find nothing for it. No response. No real opportunities gained. Sure enough, we're now just going to watch them all just get filtered towards this B bomb site. And we have seen Legia up in this corner 2 rounds before. And he's got this impact, but they walk right past a second time. Legia comes in behind all 3. And while he only sprays for 1 frag, it's Acor to try and bail them out. Straight into the 2 versus 2. Gobby on the bomb site. He wants to stop the plant, but his back is open.
What's he doing?
Keeve gives it cover. Gade takes the plant, and he finds himself outwards, removing the man on heaven, and Gobby to clutch. Big to secure OT at the very least, and 8 rounds the buffer. But Chad, what was that?
Gobby's a madman. Why did you just shoot him? Win the game. What do we do? What's the knife kill for? What do we... Anyway, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to take a deep breath. One round away. Big from victory, taking this series, knocking North Academy out of the tournament, sending them home, sending them back to cold, or similarly as cold, Denmark. But that could have been a nightmare. Losing that one, I would have flipped the desk.
I'm still kind of blasted away that Legia has been able to use that position for 3 rounds.
Multiple times,
impactfully, right? It's not like he's just found up there and then instantly killed and they forget to check it. No, he's constantly stopping them from that corner.
Yep. Yeah, and Acor to find that frag, right? He just swiveled around. You know, you saw that from third-person perspective, or at least Legia's one, and that was a nice shot from him. Regardless, but getting chaotic, getting potentially nightmarish, but surprisingly, North Academy have the better buy going into this one. Next, only got himself an MP9. Utility is already pretty slim for Big, and it looks like a B executor's coming straight into play. Jump spot is going to give a lot of information, and Next here, standing and delivering with that MP9. We'll get one, but goes down.
Acor yet again, pour up to follow suit, but Godby responds already, and Tabson tries to get himself close. He's caught with a grenade in hand. Gade, again, trying to create space here, but Godby's interested in finding a trade straight back, and off of the flash, he nearly finds it. It's the AWP of Kiev to make the even keel. Mertz responds, and now it looks like Big may give it over unless Godby again, finding another clutch, finding another round, and putting Big into victory lane. The 3rd map was needed in a series where some expected 2, and yet North Academy showed us something on Cash. They gave us a fight, they gave us some highlights, but they will ultimately be the 2nd team to fall. The North American qualifier, the European qualifier, they tried valiantly today, and yet both teams sent packing. At least they show promise.
Yeah, definitely. So there was a bit of promise there for sure. I think, you know, Mertz, we painted him as this star and he wasn't able to live up to the high expectations, which, sure, it's not trying to besmirch the kid, but it was a big stage and a big team. Bit of a sigh of relief there, I think, from Big to take that one in the end, right? It wasn't as easy as I think they were expecting it to be. It wasn't as easy as I was expecting it to be, and the fact that they were pushed is potentially a positive sign going into their next matchup. I
mean, definitely that 2nd map, right? Like, I think you could just tell by the expressions and the reaction of Big that they were definitely taken aback by that result, because it wasn't even like this close barn burner 30th round. It was a stomping. It was like 16-8. So they definitely gave them something to think about coming into Overpass, and unfortunately for North Academy, I think they had opportunities even in that 3rd map. Yeah. They had rounds where there was certainly openings, 2v2s and frantic situations, but it is not enough to give them the win, although they've got experience. We're going to send this one over to Paula on the stage for an interview with our winners.
Thank you, Connor. I'm here with Fateh, Godby. Very interesting best of 3. I think most people wouldn't have seen it going to 3 maps. Why did you end up losing Cash, your own map pick, and then winning on Train? And then, of course, the final 3rd map went to you also.
To be honest, I don't know really. I think probably it was the concentration on the 2nd map. Train was really good, like our concentration communication was really good. On Overpass, same. But on Cash, I don't know what really happened. We need to look it up and find a solution what we did wrong. But overall, like, our communication was better than yesterday, so it was okay. They also played on Cash really well, I think. So it was a good series, I think.
After the first 2 maps, how confident were you going into Overpass?
Very confident, because I think Overpass, we were working very hard on Overpass lately, and I think we learned few more things, how to counter things that countered us. So yeah, we learned few things there. We changed CT setup, that's working well, and overall, like, Overpass looking good for us.
After yesterday, what did you go away and what did you take away from the day to then prepare for this first match today?
What we took away was, like, our concentration. We lost a lot of rounds what we shouldn't have lost against Envy, I think, ST especially. So we were talking and said, like, okay, we need to concentrate more, we need to have better communication going, we need to use our equipment properly and win the X1X situation more often. And if the communication is going well, I can call better because I got more information, and then our T-side is stronger. So we wanted to do that, and we kind of did it on 2 maps. So we hope we do it later again.
And so who on your team right now is firing on all cylinders? Who are the players to look out for? Because I think Kiev is still hitting a pretty good level, Tabson also.
Yeah, Tabson for sure. He wants to win. He also makes good calls, like good decision making and motivating a lot. So for sure, Tabson.
Okay, and so going forward from here, you'll be playing Mouse Sports. How do you feel about that matchup?
It will be really fun and the maps will be cool. So everyone should watch, and I hope it will be a good ending for us. But we will see. Yeah.
All right, well, Fateh, best of luck. Everybody, put your hands together for GodB and BiG. They've now gone through further into the tournament. Come on, put your hands together. There we go. Thank you so much. Best of luck later today. Now let's head back to the analyst desk.
Thanks, Paula. Well then.
It's not great when you have to force the cheers out of the audience.
You better do it. You better do it. You better shake your hands, clap your hands, or shake your heads.
Shake your hands.
I think you shake your hands too. I think something like that. Anyway, guys, I don't think we could have expected this one to go to 3 maps.
Definitely not.
No, I think North played well, especially on Cash, the map they did win. It was pretty dominating. Again, like it was like sort of the same history as yesterday where they played Indians. I felt the big players lost some rounds. They should have lost. I felt there was some individual misses like over all the board. It was like they don't seem to be like feeling Cash right now for some reason. And North again, playing well. Merch showed up. We talked about before the match. He was the 3 reasons why they had a chance. And he showed up on that map, and he was totally absent from the first one. So great character from him already in a young age to bounce back from such a deficit.
I think, you look to this for BiG, they were shell-shocked on that second map. They got dictated to. The aggression coming out from North Academy was fantastic. The way that they mixed it up every round, that's something you can do on this map, right? You can change, you can have a different face every single CT round, and that was a good showing. Then when we flick over and we look back at that first map, slow starters on the CT side, they didn't get a chance to get into the game, and going on to this one, they just came out on the losing side of the economic battle early, right? On both halves, they won the Force Buys. Those Deagles were fantastic. We didn't see a lot of the kills, but the feed doesn't lie, and those 1Bs for sure were going off. So the skill is there, and once more, another underdog team who impressed us.
Close. Yeah. It was, for all intents and purposes, another team that shouldn't hang their head any more than they would
keep them
expect them. Yeah, keep them up. I mean, you can take something away from this 100%, but you can also take something a little further away when we go to the drawing board. Brought to you by Samsung, and you know what? We've got Mr. Birchill to do just
Brought to you by who?
I think it's Samsung.
Samsung. And what we're going to bring you right now is just a little move that I liked that BiG were throwing in now. This is versus Nico. You can see on the screen, you're going, Chad, why are you showing us something versus Nico? Well, it happened earlier on. This is just the round I remember. So we're going to play it out here now. Basically, what's going to happen is GodB is going to throw a flash for Legia, and it's just a way to clear out this side here of Monster. This is fantastic because when they decide to re-execute, all of the focus can be towards the barrel line, towards the site. They can worry about taking jewels on that side of the map instead of having to clear multiple angles. So we're going to play her out. You're just going to see this little flash come out from GodB. She's going to land right here. Boom. Now, you're going to see Legia push in. This Molotov is going to land, and it's going to allow Legia just to focus on this side. He's going to clear it out, and he's not actually going to commit. And then later down the track, they're able to use that. See, look, it's just a quick little peek. You just saw there, he just nipped in, he checked here. This is all clear, fantastic. He can just stay on that part of the map. And from there, later on, they're able to execute. It's just a nice little move. That's all it is. Doesn't go any further than this. But that's just something, it's a tiny little thing that you see that is that plays a huge role, right? It plays a huge role in a round, and it's something which you might not even notice when you're watching the game unfold.
Watching the game unfold, well, certainly did that, didn't we, Pimp? We talked a little bit before about 3 reasons, and ultimately we can look at these numbers right here. Talk to me about what happened, Pimp.
I mean, Mertz didn't have the best game of his career for sure. He had an absent first map, a decent second map, and third map was just a complete mess for the whole North team. One player you want to point out is obviously Tabson. That ADR, average 116 ADR over 3 maps. Even a map where you lose, that's like down to the line insane. He's back, he's back at the major shape, and that's the guy they need if they want to go further in this tournament.
The thing is with that, he had over 20 frags in every map, even the one they lost, right? So his performance was consistent. Once again, it's the supporting cast which needs to show up. And sure, North Academy, by no means are they a tier 1 opposition. They need to be able to do this against the likes of Mouse Sports, and that's going to be a tougher task. They need Tabson to show up in spades once more. They need Keith to be more consistent, and next, we need a lot more from him, right? He's not a support player in this team. He is a beast on the rifle. The Deagle as well, this guy, he just maybe just needs to play with a bit more confidence. I don't know. Maybe he's just not feeling it at the moment, but they're definitely going to need him when they take on Mouse Sports later today.
Well, taking on Mouseports will be their task and challenge. Later on, of course, that will be the last game of the day. However, we're going to be going into Na'Vi and Heroic. Sorry, I'm over here on sliver.tv, where you can head to get involved and actually watch the games from over there. In fact, if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, let's just go ahead and take a peek into what sliver.tv actually is.